on that, I want everyone to jump on and just tell us how your weeks have been. So tell us what you've all been up to, what's been going on, what's been happening. Kenny's been conventioning, and I think
Yes.
you advertised you got another one coming, don't you?
Yeah, in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In like 2 weeks.
Have you got lots of travel that you do for those conventions? Like, are you on planes and trains and automobiles, or
No.
pretty
I mean,
close?
when the conventions are close together like that, I make sure that they're local shows.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm not going very far.
yeah,
Like Otaku Fest was out in Miami Beach. I'm at least 40 minutes away.
yeah.
Um, then the one that I got coming up next month is Miramar Comic Expo,
Right,
which is a 1 day event, and that's about a half hour north of me.
right. Yeah.
So I try to keep it, for the most part local.
Uh, I mean, when you consider that the fact that an artist has to carry everything with them, right? You've got all of your gear, you've got your prints, you've got art folders, portfolios, plus all your
Yeah,
equipment and your products.
of course
So that's a lot. It's a lot that you got to journey around with.
it is. So and coincidentally, I had a childhood friend come out this past weekend for the convention. I haven't seen him in like over 10 years.
Right.
And he came out with his eldest son. As the eldest son is a avid anime and manga fan.
Yeah.
So good little bonding experience. And I'd never
Nice.
met his oldest son. So it was a good time. It was a good time, and he was surprised to see that I travel very, very well
Yeah.
for conventions. Right, it's
Yeah.
usually just like a large suitcase for all the prints and
Yes. Yeah.
portfolios, and I got a little toolbox with all the materials in it. Right, so I carry my
Right.
ink, my paints, my
Yeah.
brushes. You know, and the only thing that I would have like kind of strapped to my back is my retractable banner. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yes. Yeah.
I keep it pretty well organized.
Right. Yeah, because some people, you see some convention setups and they've got cages, they've got big screens. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, and he asked me, why don't you have like the grid displays where you can like hang your work up
Yeah.
and I'm like, nah, because everyone else is doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm feel that because I don't have like vertical displays of like prints and so forth, that's gonna draw people to me that much more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I prefer to sit at the table and draw and paint. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's
Yes.
like while everyone else is kind of waiting for the prints and things that they have on display to catch the passerbuyer's eye, you know, I'm grabbing their interest by just pure curiosity. Oh man, what's this guy doing? You know what I mean?
Right. Right. You're right. And I think sometimes you can be overwhelmed with like the too many pizza toppings at those conventions. Like
Right.
it's so busy, you know. Um,
Absolutely.
it's always interesting to me when sometimes you go to those conventions and the backgrounds are super busy, their tables are chock full of merchandise,
Yeah.
but they're sitting on their phones, not engaging. I thought you got
Exactly.
all this product dragging people in, but you won't talk to people.
Exactly. And it's like, you don't want that, you know.
No.
And it's always been a strategy of mine, right? To sure,
Yeah.
we put a lot of stuff up on the table. You know, I'll usually have my prints in the same portfolio book as I would my original artworks. That
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
would be selling, And outside of that, it's I got my paints out, I got my colored pencils out, my brushes are out, and I'm I got my table easel going, and I'm just kind of working, you know what I mean? And find more engagement through that, just based off of, because they usually sit me with other artists. Right? It's never an artist alley, right? It's usually around like other published artists or published creators that they usually like.
Oh, well, that's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Because Artist Alley, forget about it. That's, not to knock anyone who's been in Artist Alley. I started it myself.
Yeah.
But Artist Alley is, you'll get lost in the sauce, dude. Like it's kind of like a flea market.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't necessarily stand out.
No, it's a hard one. But it's also, I suppose, in Australia, it's usually where most people are. There's a lot of shoppers down there, which is good.
It is. It is. But it was a great weekend, dude. It was a weekend full of nostalgia. I got to catch up with my buddy who oddly enough was there. When I discovered my love for comics and art.
Nice.
He was my my inspiration into graffiti art. He was always like the letter guy. He was amazing with his letter work, and I was always the character guy. And I remember spending afternoons at his dining table, just kind of reading comics and talking about X-Men and just doing stuff with his D-Pack markers in the black books. It was fun stuff. And I ran into a bunch of like my old students that I haven't seen in like since before the pandemic.
Oh wow, that's cool.
It was a great weekend. Held a couple panels as well. It was fun stuff.
So what panels did you host?
So I did 3 panels this past weekend, one of which was talking about AI and its use. And, and the debates, behind AI. So I came in from the perspective of an artist, right?
Yeah.
And how it would affect me or just artists in general, and what are my personal views regarding the use of AI as an illustrator.
Yes. Yeah.
Then there was the art of storytelling, right?
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Using what's the word? Sequential art. As a medium to to convey messages and stories and such. And I had one of the writers that I've worked with. He's a buddy of mine, Kafalson. He's a fantasy writer. He wrote the pirate book that I told you about.
Oh yes, that's awesome. Yeah, that's a great concept in that.
So he came in to kind of give the writer's perspective on that. And I think the last one on Saturday was creating comics. Right. Nice. How to effectively use the visual medium, to convey original stories and so forth. Right. And the differences and similarities between the different medium, using visual context and so forth,
Yes. Yeah.
So it was a great weekend, man. I can't complain. Great weekend.
Yeah, that sounds very full.
Oh yeah. I was beat the hell up coming home. I didn't want to hear nothing.
Yeah, spent.
Exactly. I just wanted to put my feet up, have a cold adult beverage, and, just kind of do nothing until the next day.
Yes. And watch X-Men 97.
Yes, indeed, man. It's so sad that it's over, because it's like, I find myself, I need the fix with the rest of the episode. I need more.
I don't think you're alone. I think it's got pretty popular.
Oh, and initially the Nielsen ratings here in the States, they're like trying to give it like so much like hate right now.
Oh, really?
By
That's
not
interesting.
rating it.
Yeah.
The way they would normally rate TV shows and streaming programs on the different platforms and such.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
But I think it's an attempt to kind of not give it enough shine due to the negativity that the other Disney properties have gotten.
Oh, right. Yeah, so they're jumping on their popular sort of attack. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you didn't like Captain Marvel. Well, we're not going to rate X-Men or give X-Men, the same kind of shine.
Those kind of, I suppose it probably leads in terms of audience reaction when they're attacking Disney.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that show's just so good. It's undeniable.
Yeah. No one can deny it. Do not deny it. You can't deny it.
Absolutely not. Like I knew it was real. I knew it was something special when so for context, when those episodes air here in the States, it comes on about midnight Pacific time. Right. So on the East Coast where I'm at, that's about 3 a.m.
Right.
On when like Thursday morning, right? So
yeah.
Thursday morning, right? I get up early. It's about 8:30. Melissa goes to go drop off my stepson at school, and when she comes back, she finds me wide awake, enthralled in the episode.
In your pajama, in your Toy Story pajama.
Exactly. In my PJ still, you know what I mean? But like this with this look of concern on
surrounded with action figures.
And she's like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "Shh, watching X-Men." Right? And
she thinks the bombs have been dropped, but you're just in the X-Men land.
Shh, I'm watching X-Men. Like I'm watching stories. Right?
Oh dear! Like my mum used to be with Days of Our Lives.
Exactly. In Dallas. You know what I mean?
I'm watching Kyriakis. I can't.
When I know it was real when she would look at me and then look at what I'm watching, and she like very quietly just kind of sat down and watched the rest of the episode with me. She's like, "Oh man, I gotta start watching this." I'm like, "Yes, you do."
See, I get a different reaction in my house. I get kind of the jock out of Napoleon Dynamite's reaction every time Amy would walk in the room. It'd be really, Jesus. The eyebrow up. You remember that look? It's not like I joined the Happy Hands Club. Like, I mean, this is X-Men. So Chris Borman says he painted a few comic covers that he had already sketched out. Today he started a new cover, so we sort of mentioned what everyone's doing this week. And nice. Chris Borman is all over it. Nice.
Very good. I like it. He should share those so that we can kind of put those up on the stream and
yes,
share his work.
Indeed. So what are we up to?
How are things on your end of the hemisphere?
Good. It's getting colder. Busy day. Like it's nice. It's been I've been working on those trading cards, so it's been pretty busy time trying to sort of keep on schedule and getting things out, and so you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I hear that.
Oh, here we go. John Cook has joined us today. How are you, John?
Welcome, John.
Nice one. Yes, welcome. Welcome to Saturday morning, John.
Very nice.
Thanks for the compliment and thanks for joining us. Love it.
Absolutely. So, I don't know if you wanna bring it up, Will. I mean, we're like you mentioned, we are on the tail end of Stratos.
Yes.
And I do believe,
yes,
we promised the good folks
the giveaway.
On the tail end of Stratos.
We did. Let's do it.
So,
are you going to spin the wheel of death? Is that what
let's see how today goes, because I think that I may get to the final stages.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna push some darker blues outward on the edges of the painting here, right? So that it gives more of the effect of like that light, sort of like glaring,
Yes.
Here. You know what I mean?
Well, you got it down pat now after the Skeletor piece you did. Like that was pretty impressive the way you pulled that off with the dark background around it and the backlit. Yeah.
Thank you. And man, I brought those Masters of the Universe paintings with me to the show, and they were turning heads, man.
Nice one.
Turning heads. And of course, I talked up the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Streams that we do.
Yep. Love it.
So that the good folks can get in on the banter,
on the action.
Pottery.
Very cool. I think like it helps that they're so colorful. Like you go, oh, what is that? Like they're super bright colors all the time. I mean, Stratos is grays and blues and reds, but you put him next to a merman and you put him next to some of the other ones we've done, and they're just a nice spectrum of color to look at. They're very attractive in their design, the way the designers have put them together. So that's a big help. That's half the battle. So as a reminder, our giveaway was I would do a sketch of a character of your choice.
Indeed.
As the giveaway option, and you were going to do a trading card, I believe. Is that what we agreed to?
I would illustrate a sketch card, dealer's choice, right? So the winner, whoever we select for the giveaway, would choose the subject that gets illustrated.
Nice.
So it could you can mix and match. They could be the same character, whatever you want, whatever you guys.
Nice.
So, depending on how today goes, if we manage to get to the tail end, right, we'll spin the wheel o' death.
O death.
We'll spin the wheel o' death at the end of the stream, and we'll sound off with everyone that's in the room currently right now.
Yes.
So your names will be added if you're still with us at the end of the stream to the wheel, and we'll do it live.
Nice one. And Yvette, I hope you started the clock, because we've been pretty well behaved today.
That's right.
We have been on point. We haven't driven the car. Both hands are on the wheel, Yvette.
That's right.
On the wheel. Right.
Ooh. So Chris messaged over the covers that he was doing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, these are pretty good, Chris. Let me shoot these over to you, Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, check these out. These are pretty good.
Are you sending them to the messenger?
Yeah.
The messenger.
Chris, these are excellent, man. What
Oh, I saw the
media you
one. Yeah. Love the Rocketeer. Nice one. I'll try and bring one up. Yeah.
Ooh, that is nice. Man, those textures in the background of the Rocketeer kind of makes it feel like it's velvet. I dig that.
You've always loved a bit of velvet, haven't you?
Yes. That
draped in velvet. While watching X-Men, draped in velvet.
So Yvette says Kenny was a bit late, so it doesn't start until he arrives. Are you implying that I'm the bad influence, Yvette?
I don't
Is
think
it me?
either of us. I think it's just two chemicals going into one bucket. That's just matching a gas tank. Boom, boom. It's something ignites. That's what happens. This is what it is, man.
I mean, is it me? Am I the drama?
That's funny. All right, I'm just going to work on bringing Chris's images up, and we can have a browse.
Yeah.
So talk me through, what are you painting at the moment? What are you doing?
Sure. So basically what I'm doing is what I mentioned prior. I'm just kind of doing a vignette of some marine blues to sort of frame Stratos and draw the eye toward the center of the painting here, right? Giving the illusion of, this glare of light being the brightest point, so that your eye sort of like fixates right here in this sort of like oval vignette that I'm creating here with the clouds and the blue.
Nice.
And once I'm done, I'm going to sort of overlap his arms with a little bit of white and some of this lemon yellow, a very cool yellow, so that we could get the illusion of light bursting from there, sort of like an eye almost.
Love that. Did we ever find out, I don't know if we did or not, did we ever find out whether both male and females are just like Stratos?
I don't think we
I
did.
know we discussed it, but did we ever confirm it? Like, we couldn't figure out whether, because I know some of the concept art show that there were female Stratos. I don't even know if they're called Stratos. I mean, that's his name, but
and they were just as fuzzy.
I don't know, like, because we, it'd be like saying that there are female Kennys. I mean, I don't even know what the race of Stratos is. Oh, that's a female Kenny. Like. Did we ever find out? Like, because he's a hairy dude. Like, I don't know whether that's their thing. Like,
yeah, that'd be weird.
Like, what did I can't remember the concept, because I think there's a female on the concept art there, but I can't remember if she had the fuzzy calves and the. I'm not going to say chest hair because that's the next level, but chest hair.
The feathery bosom, if you will.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't ever remember seeing that in any of the cartoons. Like, whether
I don't remember seeing that either.
I saw other dudes, but I don't remember. Look, I mean, maybe that's the thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. These are questions.
Chris liked the female Kennys. They're big, bald, they got tattoos, but
ever-changing facial hair options.
Oh man.
Hey, look, everyone's got a thing, right? Everybody's got a thing.
That's true.
All right. Right, I'm just going to bring Chris's picture up. Anyway, that was just a question I had. If anyone could find the answer out for it, I'm all about it. But I don't know. These are questions I have. I wonder if anyone's actually thought about that in the cartoons. I'm not sitting here.
These are the kind of things that my kids like to call shower thoughts. right? You're in the you're in
Yeah.
the shower, and it's like the most random questions kind of pop in your brain.
What? Yes, I agree. When you're the most vulnerable. All right, Chris, ready for it? Here we go. Chris Borman's artwork. Here we go.
Very nice.
Very good, Chris. Now let me get rid of our banner behind that. Here we are. Nice
I
one.
love the velvety background.
Yes. Yes. It's very classic. I even like the way you've put your signature there next to the Rocketeer. It kind of looks like that classic sort of illustration, Rockwell or Leyendecker way of signing your name. It's very classy. Yeah. Very classy. Very good, Chris Borman.
Indeed.
You get an A today.
Very nice.
Good job. Straight to the top of the class. There we go. Excellent.
Little extra time for your sandwich.
Yes. You can go the ham sandwich, Chris Borman.
Extra sandwich.
Oh, Chris Borman said, female kitties are not shower thoughts. Hey, look, Chris.
I should hope not. I should hope not.
You know, Chris, it's in there now. It's like a ninja attack. That's going to get you when you go to the shower. You'll get in the shower now and you go, oh my God, it's in my brain. I can't
like
get it out.
Tuna. It's
going to be there. It's going to be your own Vietnam. It's going to be there forever. It's going to be a 3 a.m. wake up call.
That's it.
John Cook's renamed our Wheel of Death to the Wheel of Doom.
The Wheel of Doom.
Of Doom.
I
like that. Yeah. That's right.
Wheel of Doom.
Did you just do a skeletal? Wheel of Doom.
Wheel of Doom.
Doom.
Have you seen those memes on Instagram where he says remember, and he'll give you like some random fact.
The 2 frame ones, yeah. Oh my God.
The one that got me is remember when a rap battle is just 2 angry guys saying poetry to one another, angry poetry to one another.
You had me at remember.
Until next time.
Then he just walks off. Just had me at remember.
Oh man. The internet remains undefeated.
Yvette is always supporting us. She's like our ever-changing archivist. Just keeps always referencing for us, which is amazing.
Absolutely.
I got tears in my eyes already. We're not even like 40 minutes into it. Remember. You don't want that to be your shower thought.
No.
No, sir. Oh, dear. Very good. It's just building up these layers. Yvette says it's her therapy sessions. We're here to offer any sort of unqualified help we can, Yvette. That's what we do.
True.
Yeah. I suppose at the end of the day, you can always get off the stream and go, well, you know, compared to those guys, I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I've got my stuff together. Like I'm not. I can hold it together for an hour without going off the road. Those guys have got 15 minutes tops, and they're driving off the tarmac, kicking up wheat fields, squealing in fear. That's them.
This is true. This is true. Gonna mix a little bit of this lemon yellow with some of this red. So we get a nice little cool green here coming up. I'm gonna kind of put on the edges there, sort of round that out.
Yeah. Do you ever, Kenny, consider your temperature of your paintings before you start?
You know what? I've tried doing that, and like I feel like it causes me to overthink too much.
Yeah,
So what I do is I just kind of I wing it, dude. Like it's
yeah,
jazz.
yeah,
It's jazz.
yeah,
As I render through it, I'm like, man, maybe I can, adjust here, whatever feels best in the moment, to get my message across. You know what I mean? Like
yes,
how I want the piece to read.
yeah. I'm a bit
That
the same. I don't overprescribe it. I kind of just feel like I have an intention for how I want it to be, and
right.
then I just kind of, like you, I just kind of riff through it.
Yeah.
But look, I do admire people that do that. I mean, I've seen process where they do that, and it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I really do. Like I see people do their miniature swatch. Like I look at Drew Struz and stuff where he sits and he does these fully rendered thumbnails that he was sent off to a client, and incredible. Like they're finished artworks in themselves.
Yeah.
When he completely sort of realizes the temperature and the composition, I yeah, I really admire that. But it's just something I just don't do. I just I
See,
want to keep
composition
it fresh.
I can understand.
Yeah,
Composition I can understand, right? Because you want to make the most use out of your real estate as possible,
yeah,
you know. And obviously, color palette, that kind of goes without saying.
right.
But temperature, that's a good one. Now, I will say that when I'm working digitally, I do consider temperature.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
When I work digitally, I do consider temperature.
Yeah,
I think it's more so because um, when I work digitally, I'm considering just how cinematic the panel, like if I'm coloring sequential art,
yeah.
I'm thinking about just how cinematic or interesting I want that panel to feel.
And sometimes with sequential art, it's the whole page you got to consider too, isn't it? Like it's not just that one
Right.
panel, and how the colors flow from one panel to the next. It can be pretty tricky.
Right, and it's all got to be cohesive.
Yes. Yep, it's got to flow. I mean, because if you change that, the audience can feel like you've changed actual scenes, like you've gone to a different scene of the movie.
That's right. Because I feel as though with digital, it's a bit easier to convey a mood or control the mood,
Right. Yeah.
right? That when you're working traditional, yeah, you can do a mood, you can convey one, but I think it's like you would need to be more seasoned in the medium that you're working in to do that effectively.
You're right. You're right. And I guess too, I think I see that sometimes with people in the week when they're posting their artwork.
Right.
Sometimes people get very excited that they can achieve an effect or achieve a level of realism, but the artwork actually lacks a bit of emotion,
Right.
because they haven't got to that point yet. Which is coming for them. Like there's no doubt about that,
Sure.
but you can see it. Yeah. John Cook says, "Is there any chance these art pieces will be published in a book? Would be awesome."
That's the plan, actually. Will and I on previous streams, I think when we initially started this challenge, we talked about eventually publishing the Masters of the Universe art challenge in an art book,
Yes,
collective art book.
I think a combined one would look awesome, Kenny.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
I reckon.
the Back to the Drawing Board, Masters of the Universe,
Yes.
52 art challenge. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
With
would be cool.
100 or so images would look amazing.
Yeah, 104, man. That Nice little spine on the book.
Yes.
I dig that. That's a good idea. And very soon we'll have back to the drawing board branded sketch cards.
Yes.
Yes, that is also in the works.
Yep.
So we have many moving parts going on behind the scenes.
Yep.
So that, you know, even if we don't see you guys on a weekly basis due to, you know, other what's the word I'm looking for? Obligations, right?
Yes.
We are always looking and milling over new ideas to enhance and enrich the kind of content that we do for you guys.
Absolutely.
So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to sort of soften this transition from my cool yellow into the green here. Move that out of the way so you guys can see that a bit better. There we go. So what I'm doing is I want to sort of like soften this transition a little bit, kind of soften my green into the blue.
Nice.
Then to move down into my clouds, right, and give a darker value at the base of the clouds, moving upward towards the light, so that it sort of, you know, conveys that almost fisheye vignette that I wanna paint in here.
Very cool.
Well, guys, you know, we appreciate the support in advance. Fun fact: The Art of Kenny Calderon Volume 1 is available in my Etsy store right now.
Yes.
It's 50 plus pages of some of my favorite pieces.
Nice.
Some of them are published works. Others are like pieces that I've done for some of my private clients. If you go to Etsy and you type in Wildling Studios, as you see it on the screen right there, it's all one word. It'll come right up. Volume 2 is in production right now. Volume 2 is in production right now. So the news for Volume 2 will go to my followers about a month or so in advance before I take it to any conventions or before I like blast it everywhere. So I want to give you guys the exclusive leg up.
Can they get it signed, Kenny?
Huh?
Can they get it signed?
Absolutely. Any order, any original art piece, any sketch card, anything that you order from me, any books, anything that I've illustrated will be sent out to you signed.
Comes with a ham sandwich. Comes with a turkey leg.
With a side of gravy.
And a small, tiny 2x2 inch clipping of a velvet blanket. Like you do with those special trading cards when they get part of the pitches or the catcher's mitt.
Oh, yeah.
Framed in the trading card. I love that.
Absolutely. Because I know, you know, I got to give you guys the grade. I don't want you guys to get upset. I'm like, this guy.
Yeah. No gravy. This time he forgot the gravy.
No gravy?
What? No gravy? Oh, man. My favorite cartoon of all time.
Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic. So what I've been watching lately, I've been rewatching Archer. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yes, I do. Yes, I am. Yep.
So I never really finished the whole series.
Yeah. No, I didn't either.
So I started binge watching the whole series again, and man, that series still holds up.
Yeah.
It holds the heck up, dude. So funny, and I didn't realize just how many like legit comedians are
All right.
on that show.
And it's a very sort of fast-paced comedy. Like if you blink, you'll miss the quips all the way through it. Like it's kind of like in the same ilk of Birdman, Attorney at Law, or BoJack Horseman. Like it's that real fast, bang, 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 quips all the way through it, and quiet.
Yep.
Some of it's really quiet, like under the breath of the characters. Yeah, it's very funny.
Yvette wants a corn in the cob sword thrown in. Corn in the cob sword thrown in. Butterscotch separately.
That's getting a bit personal. Come on, Yvette. What are we doing? Let's stay professional.
So, John Cook has a question.
Oh yes, I'll chuck it up. Hang on. Here we go.
He says, I draw myself, but I'm a copier. As in, I can't draw from my head. Some of my art is almost exact to what I copy, but when I draw freestyle, I can't do it. Am I just a copier? LOL. Will, set it off. Let's
Well,
get it
I suppose we all are at some point or another. I mean, we tend to save. We have that save as folder of things that we know work, and I think it just comes with time in the chair, really.
Yep.
I mean, it's where we all started. I mean, I would sit there and draw out of comic books all the time, and
yep.
It's not until you start to implement slowly what you've got as reference onto your work that eventually you can sort of let go of those reins and take up the new ones. But I mean, even when I'm doing an artwork, and I suppose my biggest challenge with this Masters of the Universe one was to not reference, right? So even the hands, I mean, I would, even if I'm doing an artwork or a commission or something, I would use my own hands in poses, take photos to try and get it as accurate as I can. So, you know, like you look at someone like an Alex Ross, he references heavily in what he does. You know, it's whatever your preference is, I suppose. But it depends on what you're copying. If you're copying someone's artwork and you are doing an homage on that, or you are writing, for example, John Cook after Frazetta. If you sign that after the artwork, and then you're recognizing the original artwork or the artist. So yeah, there is an homage and a respect that comes with that kind of thing. Like artists have done it from the beginning of time. In fact, you know, Da Vinci's and the Rembrandts of the world, they had all of their apprentices would copy their work. Like that's how they started. They would just copy, and they would mimic the master's work. It's just the way we learn. You know, like Kenny and I have talked about doing a show where we reverse engineer some of the master's works in comics, in illustration, and work through that process. You know, so I think your greatest learning comes from that. There's a big learning curve. I mean, you do want to get to the point where you can veer down your own road eventually and conceive and create your own work. But in saying that too, you can still lean on inspiration from what other artists have done and how they've done things. Like when we started this journey here, I was heavily influenced by the artist on the mini comics. His name escapes me now. But at the way that they painted and created mood in their artworks, you know, it was. I'll show you. Actually, I'll open the book up. Here we go. So you can see the way he has sort of put his work together, and obviously he's on a deadline and had to crank work out. But there's a certain mood and sensibility to how he does things, which I really liked. You know, and that has tinted what I do. So it hasn't become what I've done, but it tints it. So, you know, I always remember when I was doing some life drawing when I was younger, and I say younger, like 30 years ago. And the life drawing teacher I had, she was an older lady, And I remember her saying to us as a group, she said that her husband and her have been illustrators for their whole lives. And only now in her later age is she able to work without reference. Which is interesting because, some people like to hold on to it. But there's always something to learn from the human face. There's always something to learn from the fold of fabric. And it's always good to do those things and look at reference, because sometimes we can get stuck in our own ways of cookie cuttering something over and over. So I hope that answers your question, John. That's how I would consider it. Introduce it slowly, like pick a theme like we have, or maybe even draw with us each week, and pick a theme that you want to work in, and look around you about what it is that inspires you about that artwork, and use the elements of that to create your own work. I don't know. How does that sound, Kenny? Did that make sense, or is that just...
No, totally. So you to piggyback off of what you said, Will, I think every illustrator at some point or another, very early on, starts off the same way.
Yeah.
With me, I copied the comics that I would see in the Sunday Funnies growing up. So it was Opus the Penguin, Garfield, Ziggy, right?
Yeah.
That was like what kind of drew me in, and like the black and white Spider-Man serials that I would see in the paper.
Did you get the Phantom? Did you get the Phantom in your ones?
No, dude. I used to get it was Spider-Man. If it wasn't Spider-Man, it was the Mark of Zorro.
Right. Okay. We had the Phantom a lot. Phantom, Flash Gordon, Mandrake the Magician. We had a few of those ones out here.
So that's where I initially got into drawing, right? Or at least when I entered the stage of drawing where I was like copying work, that's an aspect of the practice that helped elevate my work a bit more, right?
Yeah.
I was learning to structure and compose bodies and faces, even though they were stylized, right? Because I was only learning from the stylized work itself, right? Not like proper life drawing,
right?
It helped sort of elevate me, from where I was prior to that. And it's cool, if that's where you're at and you feel like that's a strength, that's cool, dude. Totally fine with that. However, it will get to a point. It will get to a point where like you're gonna need to sort of learn how to make the sausage, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because once you can understand real life and how to illustrate real life and how to communicate shape, language, and light and dark values, and how that affects the form and so on, how you can search for simple shapes and everything, right? It's sort of like deconstruct it and then reconstruct it, sort of like the hologram in the Iron Man movies, right? It elevates your work significantly,
right?
So it's a lot like, if you're copying now, cool, because that still helps the muscle.
Yeah.
Right. That still helps the muscle. You know what I mean? So now when you're gonna eventually plateau. So then, you're gonna have to like start picking up some life drawing, maybe, start to do things, maybe not so much from memory, but understand how to build from memory, like develop your own style of composing your anatomy and arranging the artwork if you're doing scenery. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be a bridge that you'll ultimately need to cross.
And it's gonna sting for a bit. There's gonna be a lot of slip-ups, and you're gonna think, I can't do this. But I mean, that's where the greatest learning is when you're lifting those new weights.
Yes.
And building those muscles. And And I think you got to let go of that notion that you're failing. I see a lot of students where they go, I can't do this. I say, well, you can. It just takes some time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to walk out the door fully formed.
That's right.
You've got to take a bit of time to build those muscles and be patient with the process. Enjoy that learning and just be constantly looking around. Like what can I see that I'm going to use that, or I see that color, or I see that sky, or I see that person's face. I'll record that in my brain, or I'll draw it, or I'll take a photo of it. You sort of build those muscles that way, and that's how those artists that you're looking at have done the same thing. Like they spent a career building those filofaxes of knowledge on how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. There was a great podcast episode of that one I sent you, Kenny, on Sidebar. Sidebar Forever guys.
Yeah.
I love those guys, but they just had a similar discussion this week on copying and creating your own artwork, and when is it okay to stop and start doing your own, and when is it not okay for those who haven't but continue to copy and sell it as their own. So it's an interesting discussion.
Which is a great pod. Like when you sent it to me, I immediately fired it up and I started listening to them.
They're funny guys.
Definitely a great pod.
Yeah.
Sidebar Forever. And to that discussion that they brought up in the pod, right? It was actually something that I touched upon in the discussion on the panel about AI.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That from a corporate aspect, if you're doing it for productivity, because you got to get certain things out on time, sure. It's cool to, take the shortcut, but you got to be real with yourself. You're essentially like getting lazy and working out that muscle if you become over reliant on it when you don't need to use it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in the panel, I was of two minds, when it came to using AI. Right.
Right.
There's always the, the nefarious individuals that want to use it as a shortcut, to not put in the work.
Right.
Yep. But then there's others that are using it to sort of expedite their process to get, something out on time,
Yeah.
And,
yes.
and I can completely understand that. So
yeah.
where I personally would never use AI,
no,
it's simply because I'm just a big advocate for working out the muscle, for showing up and putting in the work,
yes,
so that you can become proficient at it. You know what I mean? I can't, like, I feel like it's wrong for me to become over reliant on the machine.
Right.
So
because then it can just take over, and what are you left with? I mean, it's
exactly. It's like, how would you be able to produce? How would you gain, like how would you have that satisfaction of creating something on paper, when you're not plugged in?
Like personally, AI doesn't bother me. Like, I mean, I can see where people get upset about the fact that it rips off artists. It doesn't recognize what they do, and I can see how people get angry about people that are reliant on AI and sell AI art, because it's really just created by typing in words. It doesn't do the heavy lifting, but I think it'll play itself out in that respect. But I refuse to use it, not because of those stances, but I refuse to use it because I want to lift the next lot of weights myself.
Exactly. And
if I rely on a tool to do it for me, I don't grow anything.
That's right. So, you don't grow as an individual. You don't grow as a creative. It's the same reason why I always tell my students, sure, the iPad and the Procreate is good, but get strong on paper. If you're strong on
Yeah.
paper, those skills transfer over to digital. I was able to teach myself digital in a month,
Right.
because I'm, good on paper. You know what I
Right.
mean? It was just the learning aspect of where the tools are and how to use the brushes and so forth. You know what I mean? And I'm less so now reliant on the undo button because I've developed the muscle memory of like building a composition, and it's I very rarely use the undo.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's very much showing up, putting in the work, working out those muscles, so that you can become proficient.
Yeah. Absolutely. We did.
Chris says, I have over 400 statues, busts, and kits which I use for reference as well as photographs. Boom. That's another good tool to have as well. One of the things that I always recommend my kids do is designate a spot for you to create a little workspace if you don't have a studio or home office, right? And you surround yourself with things that not only inspire but encourage.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So Chris said Yvette threw it off the rails that time. I think it was when she had the corn cob sword.
That one?
When Yvette asked for the corn cob sword, Chris says Yvette threw it off the rails that time.
It's your fault, Yvette. It's your fault.
So, yeah, dude.
Put us into a tailspin. Put us into a tailspin, Yvette. All right.
Yeah. So, John, if you have a space where you can work, and just kind of zone out, like that would be ideal. I had a studio space that was basically the size of a large closet, and it was the best. It was the best.
You're like Harry Potter.
Yeah, literally. And what was so cool, what I loved about the space was that it had no windows. So I would walk in, close the door behind me, and then it's like if you could walk into, a creative mind, if that makes sense, and it's like, and everything on the walls was indicative of something that I love, something that I'm a fan of, something that inspires me, or something that encourages me. So it was full of like Superman paraphernalia, because I'm a big Superman fan, right? So I got like all kinds of Christopher Reeve paraphernalia and like signed art from different artists, like Superman art from different artists hanging on the wall, because Superman for me not only inspires me, but it's personal for me in the sense that it's one of it's one of the fondest memories that I have of my father.
Right.
Because it's a memory that I absolutely love and cherish. It was a Friday night that we watched the original Richard Donner film together, right? Just me and him. It was one of the few moments that I was able to like spend with something like that.
Yeah.
So Superman for me, like it's much deeper than just normal fandom. You know what I mean? And I also had drawings that my son made for me in kindergarten, right? And my son, all of his life, has always seen me like sitting at the drafting table, working on stuff, drawing on stuff, to the point where like, this is very common for him to see me like paint, and and it inspired him to like get into doing a lot of the same stuff, even now that he's almost 12.
Yeah.
you want to create that bubble, dude. You want to create that bubble that you could just walk into and kind of like cut yourself off from any distractions, and it's just you and the source, right?
Yes. Yep.
By the source, I mean that bank, that cachet that we as creatives tap into, so that the art flows through us like a conduit.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm getting real metaphysical out here.
No, you're all on it. That's
Friday
perfect.
night, Sunday morning. I missed you guys.
Yeah.
I missed you guys. That's why. John Cook says, "Thank you, Will and Kenny. You guys are fantastic. Cheers for the advice and kind words. Anytime, dude. Anytime. I like to make myself very, very available to all of the people that I encounter, as well as my students. So it's like, this is stuff that serves the ecosystem.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That you don't know who's watching you, who you're inspiring with the way you work and the habits that you keep creatively, right? That you could be inspiring someone who is secretly sort of like admiring you into, doing something creative of their own. And the ecosystem works in that way as a circle. You know what I mean? We want to keep that ecosystem alive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, that creative space talk, I think that's definitely a very important thing to do. Whether you're a writer or an artist, whatever it might be, a sculptor, it's important to have a space where you can be the thermometer and the thermostat.
Yep. Absolutely. That, these days I work from home, right? Yep. So I have my little space, in the house, and Melly's awesome. She like supports it. She, when she sees me like enthralled in what I'm doing,
yeah,
she'll only come in to like ask me if I'm hungry, or to let me know the coffee's ready.
Slide it under the door.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, having like you want to give yourself that little what's the word I'm looking for? I'm like spacing out on my words today.
It's a little piece of sanctuary, little sanctuary you can go to where it's your stuff, it's your frequency that you can go to that can recalibrate you after being out there in the wild.
Yes,
it's pretty important. Pretty important. All right, I'm just kind of. I sound a bit distracted, but I'm delicately trying to go around circles.
That's it. Now, Will, when you're working as detailed as you're working right now,
yes.
Do you find it easier to use a brush with longer bristles as opposed to shorter bristles, or vice versa?
Prefer the long if I can, only because I can see my work easier and the effect. It holds weight, it holds more paint, so I can load my brush more.
Right.
So I can actually, when I get into that zone of pressure and how much pressure I'm actually using on each stroke, it helps me to not be constantly going to the palette to get more paint. Right. So the longer bristles hold more, but I can, when I start aligning the pressure of the bristles and how much I lean on that brush, I can keep repeating that. If I'm doing his face though, that's a different story. But with things like this, I can move around reasonably quickly. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sort of too concerned. I mean, anything I do, I can always paint over. Like, it's not too scary, but it's yeah. I mean, the longer brushes just help me in a situation like this,
right?
Especially also with how much paper the trauma can take, how much trauma the paper can take as well.
Right.
I am also tripping over my words today. It's been a long week.
I hear that, dude. I hear that.
Yeah.
So with a little bit, I'm gonna cross over the wings here just a little bit to give that illusion of the light sort of like folding over the wings here.
Yeah. That looks good. Are you having any light coming through the feathers, or are you just going to keep it fairly solid?
No,
like
I'm gonna keep the feathers kind of dense.
Yeah.
I'm really just gonna like sort of set up the sun here, but then like have my rays just kind of
I
spread
love
out.
it. I've never seen Stratos' wings like that. It's fantastic. I love it.
Thank you. I wanted the wings to be like to feel like bombastic and big.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I love it.
so John Cook says, "Look at Leonardo, Michelangelo. We're still in awe of their art. AI
Yes.
may look good, but it will never convey the talent, love, or turmoil of creating true art." So that is like really, really accurate, right?
Yes.
Art above everything is honest, right? Regardless of the style that you work in, it's honest. It's who you are. It's it's going to be your thumbprint, you know, creatively, and whatever it is that you do, regardless of the art form that you practice, you pour a little bit of yourself into it. So there's
Indeed.
there's a little bit of your soul in there. AI art.
I mean, I've really heard. I've sat back and I've listened to a lot of people trying to really defend what they're doing with AI, and whatever. If that's what you love, that's cool. But at the end of the day, it's the market will speak for itself. Like, I mean, it will always determine what is valued and what isn't. And I hate to say it, at the end of the day, when you're holding up a piece of artwork that's done by a Bill Sienkiewicz, and then you hold up a piece of artwork that's done by someone that wanted to put some words into an algorithm that creates a Bill Sienkiewicz lookalike, which ends up just being a print on the wall, someone's going to want Bill Sienkiewicz.
Easily.
I mean, A, it's got the soul of the artist in the work, but B, it's an original piece of artwork. Like, it's not something that's been printed out of a machine. Like, I hate to say it, the market will always dictate the worth of those pieces of work.
True indeed.
Right?
True indeed.
Like, true. You can back and forward about, what is true art to the cows come home, but the reality is, what does the market determine? They want original art.
That's right.
That's all. Stands the test of time. For sure.
Every time, dude. Every time. Every time. I
mean, I suppose it's similar to Photoshop or print markets, right? I mean, what would you prefer? Do you want a full digital print of someone's work, or would you like an original Alex Ross? I mean, it'll determine it all. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, original artwork, like this Stratos that I'm painting, like this will be the only Stratos I ever paint.
It's a one of one.
It's like this particular Stratos is one of one.
Yeah.
Just like the Beast Man, the He-Man that I did, and the Skeletor, it's one of one, right? If I replicate it, it'll only be in print.
Yeah, it's print.
That's it. It popped out of a machine, but this came by way of my own hand.
Yes.
And I told I said this to a buddy of mine who's a clothing designer, and he recently, like in recent years, he got into actually going and stitching the clothes together.
Wow.
Right? So like he would tell me, Kenny, it's a lot of work, because I'm designing everything, but I'm also in the factory with the women like putting the designs together, and I'm helping them like put the buckles and the snaps and everything. And I'm like, it's exactly that reason. It's that reason that justifies your price point.
Yes.
Because you're only doing 10 of these pieces,
right.
Because you're in there hands on,
Exactly.
it's not coming by way of a sweatshop across the water, seriously. It's not coming by way of a sweatshop across the water. You're in there hands on doing it yourself. It justifies the price point.
Yes.
It's no different from a painter.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, you're creating customized, original, bespoke pieces.
That's right.
That's what he's doing.
Yvette says, I prefer art over a print anytime. See, this is why I like Yvette.
Yes.
Here's why I like Yvette.
Indeed.
John says, nah, Kenny, you're right on. I am more or a wait, what does it say? Not Kenny, you're right on.
I think it's meant to be of
a writer myself, so I get the zone, even though I started drawing at a young age, but writing is my jam. I wish I could incorporate both. Yeah, dude, same. Same. Because for as decent as I am at this, I'm not the best writer. Like I can write in bursts. I can like write really well, but like in just a few paragraphs. I can't see myself writing like a full piece. So I find myself either tapping more experienced writers for advice, or just hiring, someone who's
it's just where you put your time, Kenny. That's all. Like, you put your time in this.
Yes.
And I feel the same way. Like I'm good at broad brushstroke ideas and concepts, and creating, or maybe helping to amend a scene to make it more dramatic. But my time hasn't been spent in creating finite narrative, where it's going really microscopic sort of narrative between characters, or even structure. Mine's more about how can I get my Die Hard sequence in there,
Yep. Exactly.
I can do that bit with Superman landing a punch, or making something really creepy or something. Like, I will put the twist on it, but in terms of the back and forward storytelling, it's not my thing. It's just not practiced.
And look, any creative outlet, they're all cousins on the same family tree.
Yes, they're all feathers from the same Stratos. There we go.
That's right.
There we are.
I like it. Very good.
You like that?
I do.
We can copyright that.
All feathers on the same Stratos.
Kenny's first album.
Yeah.
Stratos' feathers.
That's it.
I love it. So how's your trading cards going? Tell me about your Upper Deck stuff. Are you working on anything at the moment?
So what I just completed was Transformers for Dynamite.
Nice.
Right. I got some Upper Deck stuff going on, but I can't really disclose that right now. Just signed off on a rather strict NDA.
Yes, love strict.
But it is a very exciting project.
Very cool.
Haven't gone public with as of yet. So
it's exciting, dude. Love it.
Very excited about that. What else is going on? Are
you doing much of your own stuff?
Yeah. So I can share these as a matter of fact. These came by way of my Etsy store.
Uh-huh.
So these are recent commissions that came in from my Etsy store.
Do you want me to put them up?
Huh?
Do you want me to put them up on screen?
No,
Or are you
I'll
going
hold
to show
them.
them on your screen?
Yeah, I'm going to show them so that they can see the card quality and such. Yeah, so the client commissioned Omni-Man, Adam Eve, and Invincible, right? So this is the Omni-Man. Hopefully
It's got a bit of sheen on it. I can't
the
quite
camera
see it.
will focus. Hold on.
It's focused, but it's just too bright. Oh, there we go. Yep.
There we go.
Nice.
So that's my Omni-Man. I keep my clientele up to date on every phase of the artwork that they commission.
He looks mildly annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like,
there's Omni-Man.
What did you say? What did you say to me? Yeah.
This is Adam Eve. All right. I went with something a bit more stoic.
Right. Great pose.
You know, nice little inside view.
Yeah.
Right. And this is Invincible.
Awesome. That's very Invincible-like, isn't it? With that flying at the camera. That's great.
Yes. So these cards, very sturdy. They're about 32 points. So these things are sturdier than your standard trading card, right?
Yeah.
The branded sketch cards that I'll be making for Back to the Drawing Board will be of the same material. So with each one of these sketch card commissions, they come in a plastic top loader, so you don't have to worry about your card getting all beat up, right? And I always sign the front of the card, right, somewhere on the face, but I'll always sign the back as well, and these are always guaranteed to be one of one.
Which is important too, because if they want to slab it and put on display, your signature's on the front.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like I've seen some people put them up on their wall and they make a really cool wall display of it. But your signature, if it was only on the back, would be hidden. So it's kind of cool that you sign it on the front. That's nice.
Well, yeah. And for you know, for those of you that haven't like commissioned anything from me before, I sign my work in such a way that it doesn't distract from the artwork. I kind of like hide it in the artwork.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're paying for the artwork, right? Not my autograph.
You're paying for an incredible Kenny Calderone original.
Yes. So Chris Borman says Kenny's tiptoeing around that NDA. Yes. Because when I gotta be quiet.
They know where he lives. They'll come
and get him. Because I've been doing stuff for Upper Deck for I want to say 3 years.
Yeah.
So this next project, it's a big dog.
They'll get you.
Big dog.
The Upper Deck Mafia will find you.
They will, and I'll get
like God. They're just a God.
Yeah, you know, you'll never see me on the stream again. It's like, oh, where'd Kenny go? He's getting a sandwich? No, he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah. Something happened.
He's gone. What do you want from me? He's gone.
Things got out of hand. He's gone. Okay, good fellas on you.
But as soon as I'm able to spill the beans on that, you know, man, it's so good. It's just so good.
It's a hard thing, isn't it? Like, because you got to hold on to that information for so long.
Oh man, and it's so hard. It's so hard to do. It's so good.
I know. You know, I know, but it's tricky.
It's so good.
That's funny.
Oh man, it's like it's burning a hole in my brain. It's like,
oh man, yeah, it's a tough one.
It is. So John Cook says, Isn't it funny? But you said it will in regards to using AI to replicate an existing artist. You have to prompt. What is it? You have to prompt a program to copy. LOL.
Yeah, yeah.
And Chris follows up with, Kenny will be on the stream. Kenny will be on the stream. He'll even be early because he won't be working for Upper Deck.
He starts.
Why are you
The
messing with
stream.
me? Why are you messing
He'll
with me, Chris?
start. You'll have this. The stream will be starting soon. Slideshow going a day early, like just sitting there waiting, just waiting for it, waiting for everyone to join. Oh man!
Oh man! Oh, it'll be so good. So good.
Black band from Upper Deck, all trading
You know,
cards. Yeah, they'll get you.
they'll
That's
find
funny.
me. They'll find me.
I was completely unaware about how big the trading card thing really is. I was completely unaware. I'll be the first to admit.
It's
It's
huge.
just it's a big industry, like, and so many people collecting them.
And it's like, and it's still really underground.
Yeah,
It's still really, really underground in the sense that it hasn't exploded to the point where, like, now people are kind of like jumping on the bandwagon to like collect and commission, and it's still not there, which is
do you
good.
think it's because of the size as well? Like, because they're very easily stored and displayed, like compared to larger pieces. Do you think that plays a role in it?
I think the size does play a factor,
Yeah,
right? It's easier to get a binder,
yeah,
and kind of fill in the slots with original artwork that you've collected,
right.
and ultimately get them slabbed and such,
Yeah,
and I think that it's also the reason why it hasn't gone like super mainstream yet.
right.
That like the mainstream hasn't really like picked up on what the sketch card and like industry is doing right now.
Right. I think they will, though.
No, they will. Eventually they will. But we're kind of like coming in early.
Right.
Because this has been like, even before I jumped in, even before like they solicited me, I did, like, the sketch card thing had been going on for a couple years, because another artist that I work with on the Office Unicorn, Juan Navarro, shout out to him.
Yeah.
He had been doing stuff for Upper Deck, for a couple years,
Yeah.
before I even knew that sketch cards were a thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that's right. Like, I mean, you look at even like Topps cards. They've been around for the beginning of baseball. Like, they've been around for a while.
Yeah.
But in terms of tipping into other fields of collectability, I guess maybe, I don't know. It's been, like you said, a bit more underground.
Yeah. So John says, I've written 3 books, not published, so yeah, LOL. Writing is easier for me than drawing. And I commend you on that, dude. I commend you.
Yes.
Chris says, Kenny, do you have an artist account for CGC for the comics and cards? With the artist account, you can mail in your work for signature series. Yes, I do, Chris.
That's a great question.
I do have an artist account for CGC. That I do, my friend. And as soon as I clear off some of the work that I have on the plate right now, I have several things that I do want to get rated.
Yeah.
It was a vendor that I've known for a really long time that like he usually like he does the same shows I do, that told me about that.
About grading your own work, getting it slabbed, or just grading
Getting the artist account.
Yeah.
Getting the artist account for CGC so that you can be a part of that signature series.
Yeah.
So I actually have quite a few things that I need to submit and get graded, because I saw quite a few things actually, that I found just out in the wild that's been my work, right? I was at a convention and I'm walking past a comic dealer, and coincidentally I find like this Harley Quinn that I did at MegaCon, like
That's great.
2014, 2013, around there, slabbed next to a George Perez.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, hey, why does that look so familiar, right?
It winked at you.
I haven't seen. And it was before I got a scanner and everything, so like I don't have any pictures of it other than the picture that I took of the artwork on the shelf.
Yeah, right. It winked as you walk past. Yeah.
That's my cousin. What's going on, Josito? That is one of my cousins.
Welcome.
Tuning into the stream. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna drop some heavier shadows in these wings here. I'm gonna get my famous little mixture of it's not famous, but you get what I'm saying.
Famous.
A little bit of brown and the blue. Get a little bit of that brown and blue going.
I'm fearful of using brown and blue because I'd hate to be seen as ripping off the famous brown and blue mixture of Kenny Coppertone. It's always on my mind. It's always there. Always.
It's not that
kidding. I can't even use it in my classroom. Like so kids can't. I can't use these colors. They go, why? I said, because the Kenny Calderone uses it.
You can use it, bro. I extend the license to you.
Oh, thanks, man.
To use
it. But I'm on NDA. I can't release anything I create with it until it's been approved.
For the record, guys, like if you guys are just joining the stream, or like you don't, for context, right? I haven't been painting very long, to be honest. Right? I haven't been painting very long, and recently I discovered that the mixture of blue and brown gives you a black, but not quite. It's like a very natural dark tone. Right? It's not black, right? Because sometimes
you do a lovely Frankenstein jacket color.
Yes, so. And I had been hearing this from some of the other teachers that I work with at the Art Shack, right? Who are like oil painters, right? That like they'll propose the challenge to some of the students on like doing a full illustration, but without using black.
Yes.
So you get around that by using brown and blue. So I recently discovered this at the convention, right? And it's kind of like my new favorite thing right now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful color, and if you mix that burnt umber with a Prussian blue,
yes,
and a bit of black to mute it down, and then you add your white to it again, it will really give you a nice popping color. Because I mean, you can't really add white to straight brown. You just get a very creamy brown.
Yeah.
But if you have those blues in there, it will then give you a really beautiful sort of muted sort of tertiary mix, which is nice.
Yeah. So I just discovered that, guys, and it's like my new favorite thing to do now.
Yes. And it's yours.
My new favorite thing. It's kind of like, when you discover a new snack and it's like the only thing you'll binge for weeks on end.
Yeah.
That's my thing now.
I love it. And I love when, like, sometimes you discover it and you go, oh, I found this thing out, and you get side-eyed by about 50,000 artists where you go, really? You've just found this out?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And they say nothing. They let you carry on with, look what I know. You know nothing.
Yeah, like I tried it for the first time. I'm like, oh man, I'm a genius, right? Genius, right?
I've just changed the art world.
And lo and behold, it's something that's been like around for ages. Like I'm just catching up.
Lo and behold.
I tell you.
Yeah, after you live streamed it, put a video up on YouTube. Damn it! Everybody knew about this. Yeah,
everyone knew.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So yeah, I haven't been painting for very long, guys. I've ventured into the realm of painting my work by watching Will. True story.
God help you.
True story.
And there became the undoing of Kenny Calderon. It began with that.
And here we are.
And here we are. 10 years later, they're interviewing your wife saying, where did it all go wrong? Well, he met this guy. And
yeah, I keep hearing him every Friday night talking to this Australian guy on the computer. I don't understand.
That's right. They said stupidity to each other all week long, and then he slowly went insane. And
it was all downhill from there.
Yes. Yeah. Too good.
But it is working.
But yes, it is a beautiful color.
Sort of like push my shadows upward using my new favorite mixture of color of brown and blue.
The classic.
Indeed. Sort of.
We're going to call it copper tone brown. That's what we're going to call it.
Copper tone. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
We've named it.
Yvette, make a note of that. It's official. Copper tone brown.
Copper tone brown. Yeah. Sorry, everyone else that may have thought I discovered it, but you were wrong.
So wrong.
You were wrong. It was Kenny.
That's
erroneous.
Erroneous.
Erroneous. It was Kenny that discovered this. I take that to the bank.
Oh man.
Don't mind us, everyone. It's been a while.
It has. I got to admit, I look forward to the stream every week.
Yes.
I got to admit.
In other news, I finished The Office. I got through it.
Nice.
I watched all of it to the end. And now I don't know what to do with my evenings.
Okay. Lucky for you, you and I are friends, and I watch a lot of TV while I work. Right? So I highly recommend you pick up Parks and Rec.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that. I thought you were hinting that during the week. I thought we're going to deep dive in that. The thing is, I get so obsessive. I'm going to see it through. I'm going to see it all the way through.
Yeah, I recommend you pick up Parks and Rec. That a lot of the actors that auditioned for The Office ended up on Parks and Rec.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's so funny, like how things like that work, isn't it? Like you watch one thing and suddenly the other things pop up. Like, who would have thought that this week I saw that Lego released The Office as a playset that you can build? Like, what?
Oh yeah.
How did that? Office is not a new show. It's funny.
You're gonna see lots of that stuff.
Yeah.
That for me, I've given The Office a rest for a little bit because I binge that aggressively. Right?
Yes.
So what I started doing is I started watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is hilarious.
Yep.
I rewatched. I'm in the process of rewatching Archer.
Yes.
And I'm gonna jump back into Parks and Rec.
Nice. Yep. There you go. That's now adding the Calderon Brown.
Yes.
As part of her glossary of terms. I'm even going to say it in my classes at school. Today, kids, we're going to mix a new brown. Write it down. Write it down.
You're going to blow their minds.
Yes.
A new brown?
A new brown. I've rang Derwent and I've rang Windsor Newton. This is brand new. Not Van Dyke Brown. This is Calderon Brown. You people don't know what you're talking about.
He just created this color. He just did this. You don't even know. You don't even know.
You're a bunch of idiots. You don't know what you're talking about. Get all angry with them. Angry with the establishment.
See, Chris came in and he says, "We'll get it right. It's copper tone."
Oh, that's
copper
right.
Tone. You don't even know.
Oh man. People don't even know. You get furious and indignant. Insulted and indignant.
Oh man. Welcome to Back to the Drawing Board, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I tell you. I wouldn't have been able to do this at the con. Like, I bought a phone stand just so that I can stream at the convention.
Yes.
Right, but the convention shuts down at 7. You know what I mean? Like, so it we would have had to have gone on early, like for you, in order to
3 in the morning may not have.
Yeah, dude.
May not have got the best result out of me.
Yeah.
Pass out on the drawing board.
All in all, though, I think it was for the best. I think it was for the best that you had that those 2 bye weeks. I think they were working outside of your studio, yeah.
They were. Well, I came out that morning to start, and then we decided we'd turn it into a construction zone on the Saturday morning next door. So there was no. All I could hear was like soaring and metal, and I was like, I can't hear anything. I can't even hear myself. I don't know how anything's going to be heard. I could have done just on like a silent run,
Right.
But that would have been you doing all the heavy lifting with the talking the whole time. So it wasn't quite fair, but yeah, it just was what it was. But, these things happen, and here we are.
Here we are.
Did you do his jets coming out of his backpack? Did you actually do it as a jet, or was it just like hot, like wind? Like, what did you do anything?
Yeah, so I initially did do that because I got the jets right here. They're just really, really light. I got to darken those in a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm doing like one sort of like a teardrop kind of stream.
Right. Are you gonna do that just white, or are you gonna do like?
I'm gonna go in there with like some white, just to kind of. Okay. I'm gonna like pull some of the paint out so that we get the stream forming right behind the sides.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. Copper tone brown.
The copper tone brown was a good choice because now I got a little texture in my wings.
Yes. I think when we start a bit of merch, I think there needs to be a T-shirt that has the palette mixing of copper tone brown, the formula on the T-shirt.
I love it. It.
Copper tone brown, add a bit of burnt umber with Prussian blue and ivory black with some titanium white. Copper tone brown every time, children. Every time. ...
You don't even know.
You don't even know. You need to shut up.
You don't even
know. Shut up, establishment. You didn't know anything. You thought you knew, but you didn't even know. You kick the mic stand over. You kick something. Angry. Angry. Pissed off and angry.
Oh, man. If you thought you knew.
You didn't know.
You didn't.
You thought you knew, but no, you didn't. Just accept it. Acknowledge it. Move on.
We're here. This is where we are.
Own it, acknowledge it, move on.
That's it. So I think I gotta let that set for a bit.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna pull out the jet stream.
Yeah.
That's legs, and then I gotta push a bit more shadow down the center of the frame here. Yeah. And detail the face just a little bit more.
Yeah, I've been doing the same. Just leaving that bit of blank space for the jet stream.
Yeah. And
just doing a bit of cloud work in the background.
So we get
a bit of cloud work
there. Get a little bit of this white.
So in other news, I hear that Keanu Reeves is going back to comic book writing.
Because he had the Berserker.
Yeah, well, he's going back to that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I like Keanu. I haven't read Berserker, though.
We'll give that kid a go.
Yeah.
Give him a chance.
Yeah.
He does all right.
He's a nice guy.
He's got a lot of potential.
I think so.
You might make it work.
I think it's his authenticity that I like.
Yes, I agree. I might just keep it as that. I don't want to do too much detailing on the sky of the jet stream. I want to keep it fairly positive, negative space kind of stuff. I think. Keep the focus on the figure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I just want to sort of soften where the jet stream is.
Yeah,
like soften the blue.
Right.
So I'm going in really wet with a bit of white, titanium white, just to sort of soften that blue value behind him. What's up?
I always laugh when I look back and we lost an hour on something. Like, like what was even that?
This is This is what it is. This is
Like, I'm
this
pretty
is
sure
why.
somebody else had control of the steering wheel then, because I don't know where we went. We just.
That's right. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah. Last time I looked up, we're at 40 minutes.
Look at that. We get to talking crap, and it's it's like going into a pocket dimension.
Oh man!
Use some of my copper tone brown.
You preach it. Copper tone brown available at anywhere that supplies real art supplies. You hear that, establishment? Real art supplies.
You don't even know.
You don't even know. That's the tagline on your product.
I'm just gonna kind of like sort of push it into the tooth of the page. All right. Focus.
I just wanted as a tagline under your brand. Back to the drawing board. Kenny Calderon. Limited edition paint run, copper tone brown. You don't even know. In italics. Oh man.
I'll tell you. This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we do every week. This is what we do.
This is what we do all week.
We talk crap.
This is what we do all week. You're just getting a snippet at the end of the week.
This is true. This is true. This is true. This is just evidence of what goes on.
That's right. Should there be an inquiry? This is actually why. Yeah. Yeah. Chris goes, it's just one color. You just get one color in the series.
That's right.
You can buy a set, but they're all the same tube. You can buy tube, brown. Oh man. That nearly broke me. That nearly got me.
Oh man.
You go to Spectrum Buy, fantastic. You get a show bag. It's just one tube. Just one color, one tube. Don't go red, blue, nothing. Just copper tone brown. The new era of sepia painting. You're bringing it back. Bringing it back.
Oh man. Oh man, I'm sweating. I'll tell you.
Chris Brown, you got me. Chris Borman. Oh, Chris Brown. Chris Borman, you got me. Everyone's becoming brown. Everyone's last name is Brown now.
That's it. He's Chris Brown. Moving forward, he is Chris Brown henceforth.
Oh man, I've stopped painting. I can't stop laughing. Oh. Everyone's just got a different brown name, different shades of brown. Oh.
Oh man, right on time. Right on time. Usually at the end of the hour mark, 2 hour mark. This is where it really like tumbles down the hill, doesn't it? I think we lost it, ladies and gentlemen. We lost it.
Oh my god. I had to walk it off. Can we try and be professional, please, for 5 minutes? This is why I get nothing done. This might be why it might not be good for us to be at a convention together. No one can approach the table. They think they're high. Like they call security on us. Oh man.
What's going on with those two? Puerto Rican and the Australian guy.
What's his name? Yeah, yes.
Oh, that's good
funny
stuff. I tell you. That's gonna be with me all week, dude.
Yeah. I'm just thinking in my head, how can I produce a tube of paint and send it to your wife to give to you for Christmas? You gotta unwrap it under the Christmas tree.
Oh, that's amazing.
God, so brown. Oh.
Oh man. Whew. Okay. All right.
So tell me, what is happening in pop culture news this week besides Keanu Reeves?
Man, you the thing that's been what's in the paint.
I think you know, John. I think you know, John. You know. If you know, you know. Brought to you by Shower Ideas. Shower Thoughts.
So
brought to you by showerthoughts.com.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about on the stream in popular culture this week is Donald Trump.
Oh, the DT.
Yeah, Donald Trump. And the reason why is because I think it's absolutely hilarious that, you know, his defense team is being crop dusted by Donald. Okay.
Crop dusted.
So apparently Donald for years has been wearing adult diapers.
Oh no.
Yes.
Is that
right?
real?
It's very real because there was someone who was on The Apprentice who leaked that he had a personal like wiper.
What? That was their job?
Like that was their job to like change his diaper while he was on set.
Wait. Does
So
he
what
need
happens
diapers?
is
This is just the thing. Like, does he need diapers, or is he just that's his preference?
No, like he's incontinent. So it's like, you know, he just like he lets him rip, dude. He's got to wear diapers, right? and it's from all the years. It's from all the years of using speed.
Oh right.
You know what I'm saying? So like he's just, you know, the gasket is loose, so to speak. Yeah.
He's popped an O-ring. Like, that's just terrible.
Yvette says no, that can't be true. Yvette, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it is. So this is documented. Okay,
that's a long bus ride in the presidential bus. Like you can't crack a window on those things. It's all air conditioning. Like, you can't get. You know what they're like.
Because that realizing what was going on or what's been going on, I look back at all of his like speeches where his wife is there and she doesn't like hold his hand. It's probably because he's back there just letting him rip, and she's in like his Dutch oven. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. She's getting the fallout cloud behind him. But what happens? You'd have to wear it to bed.
He would. He does.
He'd have a big nappy. He'd have a big nappy in bed.
You know what I mean? Because he's just letting him go. There was, and this actually came out on YouTube. This actually came out. They recorded him falling asleep in the middle of the court. He was passing out, dude, and then but like farting as he was passing out. It was crazy. Oh, that's he's like a toddler, man. He's like a really big
United Nations meetings and
just crop dust in the crowd behind him. His defense team is in there suffering.
Oh man.
I said to when I saw this, I said to myself, man, I gotta say this on the street.
That is rough. That is rough.
And looking back, it made total sense to me because it's like, like he'll boast about his wife being so pretty and and so forth, but like she doesn't seem very affectionate with him.
No, she's like, but why wouldn't you want to keep that to yourself? Why do you need a professional changer? Wouldn't you be kind of like, I want to keep this on the down low?
Yeah, but then
I figured there's no shame. There's no shame
at all.
I'm gonna hire. Like, when do you? I don't know. Like, even if you had that as a job, which is pretty bad, but when you go home for Christmas and you say to your mum and dad, like, listen, I got a new job. I'm working for the White House. Oh, really? What are you doing? Are you press secretary? No, I changed the big boys' nappies. That's what I do.
Yeah, dude.
And I have to wear those gloves that they use when they handle horses down in the nether region. And I have to wear those gloves because they go right up to my elbows. And I got a hazmat suit. Like, I mean, what do you? I don't know, man. Like,
to be the guy. You know what I'm saying? To be the guy to bust out the wipings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
that check has gotta be huge. Huge.
Right.
Chris Morgan says, I normally appreciate that the stream is political free, but this is worth the reach of
and like someone who's politically unbiased, that'll be an interesting presidential debate because it'll be the range of the nappies, like between the two of them. That's rough.
Rough.
That's rough.
Man.
That is rough.
So
I can't imagine, like, you'd want to get paid well. Like, I mean, because if it got out that you were the person, there's no living that down. There's no, now he's opened a sandwich shop after he was changing nappies. Like, there was never really, there's never going to be much.
Oh, he's having a roast beef sandwich? It's going to be a long day, right?
He's got his own burrito. Oh.
It's going to be a long day. What? Chili for breakfast? Oh.
Oh,
tell my wife I'm coming home late.
He was going to work on a normal day, and something went
everyone
wrong.
watching the stream right now, I challenge you. I challenge you to look at the court footage of the trial, the Trump trial, right?
Yes.
And look at his defense team.
They're not happy.
Look at the men in his defense team, and look at Trump himself. It's comedy. Pure.
And that's got nothing to do. That's got nothing to do with his beliefs or his personal, political stance. That's really got to do with him as on a human journey.
Yeah,
that's the comedy. That's the comedy.
Oh man, dude,
and that's someone's dad, that's someone's granddad. Like that's real life, man. Except it's on a public stage.
Absolutely. I was like, wait till I tell Will. This is too good to keep.
And you held on to it until the 2-hour 12 moment. That's great.
Like, I gotta bring this out.
Listen, everyone, you want to know about Kenny's strength with his NDA? There it is. He just held on to that for 2 weeks, 2 hours, and 14 minutes. That is strength. Strength.
Yes. I am gifted with a phenomenal amount of patience.
That's so good. Oh man. All I need is a bit of Biden and Hillary news, and I'll be set for the week.
Oh man. Oh, it's so good. So good. But yeah, pop culture. Let's see what we got.
We cycle back to where we started.
Yeah, let's try and course correct a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Well, we haven't streamed for like 2 weeks, so I think there's quite a bit. Like there's the reveal of the Superman suit.
Yeah, sorry, I just laughing at Chris Paul.
It's the punching cover so round.
You don't even know.
Oh man. Yeah, Stratos isn't getting done today. Oh. Yeah. Oh man. Oh man, I'm in tears right now.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh man. Oh, hold on. Let me catch my breath. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Because these last is going to be a brown color now. Oh. I think he just destroyed Kenny. He came up for air and he hit him with another one.
Oh, okay. Whew. Whew.
That says, Chris Foreman, you're sitting there way off the road now. No one is at the wheel. We're both in the back seat laughing.
Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm glad I held on to that, dude.
That was worth it. They came out with all the energy of a new news cycle.
Your man says Chris Foreman just sent them way off road now.
Oh dear. Now, what were you saying about pop culture? Killing me.
Because it's been a couple of weeks since we streamed, right? I was gonna say we I don't think we talked about the new Superman suit.
No, we haven't. I think we talked like briefly when there was a little reveal of, I don't know, maybe a month ago. Remember when they had the still shot when he was. They had the still shot when he's putting his boots on, like just casually putting the boots on while there's an explosion in the sky and an alien invasion, and he's just calmly slipping the tootsies into the boot. I think we just talked about that briefly.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't think that there's anything in popular culture right now that can top, the party on his lawyers. That's good stuff.
That could be a make or break for his political career.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Oh,
that beats JFK Maryland. That's for sure. For sure. Richard Nixon Watergate. Forget about that.
Oh,
Donald Trump's tiny nappy. There's been a lot of illustrations around Donald Trump being a big baby with a nappy on. I wonder how much of that was. I wonder.
Now, for as much as of an entrepreneur as the Donald is, he's never come out with his own branded like adult diapers.
Paint. His own branded paint.
That too.
Yeah.
There's
never been a Donald Orange, has there?
A Donald Orange, right? Because he's like a Cheeto, like he's
yes, he hasn't got that mandarin orange color. It hasn't really,
a Donald Orange, but nothing can. But like it would be too late right now because nothing would surpass copper tone brown.
That's right. Don't even try.
He
don't even know.
He doesn't even know.
No. They just don't know. Like that kind of news really doesn't compare. Like when you look at comic news and you've got things like in the Archie comics, it was announced this week that Archie's going to finally make a decision out of Betty or Veronica. Like the Donald Trump news, it kind of surpasses everything. You can't hear it over that noise. You just can't hear it.
No. Not while Donald is out here letting them rip. He's letting them rip in the New York courtroom.
A slow release going in court. Like that's slow.
Like to be a fly on that wall, dude. Like,
that would be worth being an intern. I would just
there's a pregnant pause in the in the lawyer's statement, and like you get like the sound of a deflating tire,
while he's asleep. Yes. Oh man.
Oh no.
So tell me, being a big Superman fan as well, tell me what the Superman suit news is.
So I don't think we ever really got into like a deep discussion with regard to the new Superman suit, right?
Right.
Now I'm a huge Superman fan.
Yeah.
I do like the choice in casting. Right? Because he does look like a younger Henry Cavill.
Right.
And based on him looking like a younger Henry Cavill, I feel as though somewhere down the line they're gonna bring back Henry in like.
Oh really?
It's my belief. It's not confirmed.
Are they going to do a Kingdom Come style thing? Do you think eventually?
That's my belief.
That would change my life. If I had a Kingdom Come movie, I'd be wrapped.
Yeah. Like, that's my belief that they're gonna bring Henry back in a Kingdom Come sort of scenario.
Wow. You heard it here first, folks. Back to the
Yes,
drawing board. It's
that's
happening.
now
James
that's
Gunn, it's happening.
my theory, right? Because Kingdom Come was one of those. It was one of those stories that like was a game changer for
Yes.
DC.
Right, absolutely. And you know what? Like I read it every year. It's my favorite comic of all time. It probably is yours as well. But honestly, it's for me that was the 90s. That was it. Like forget Image Comics, Kingdom Come for me was the 90s. It was amazing. Yeah.
Easily. That I still remember reading the Wizard books.
Yes.
The Wizard books, and they were doing like the deep dives on Alex Ross's pencil drawings, his renders.
I still have that magazine. That
so do I.
With the Alex, and it has Superman flying at the cover. I think I can't remember, but yeah, it was India. It was very cool.
That they showcased all of Alex Ross's like renders for the characters and such.
Yeah.
All of his pencil drawings, and I was like absolutely fascinated by it.
Yeah.
So it's my like thought, right? That they're gonna bring Henry back in a Kingdom Come sort of scenario.
Yeah.
Right, because they are introducing a lot of, or rather, they expect to introduce a lot of deep cut characters.
Yes.
Into the universe. I mean, like Metamorpho.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a deep cut. Like my introduction to Metamorpho was The Outsiders.
Oh right, okay. Yep.
You know, it was The Outsiders.
And for some people it was the Justice League cartoon because he's pretty big in that as well.
True.
Yeah.
But you know, it like I go back as far as like The Outsiders when I think that was Neil Adams.
Right.
That was Neil Adams doing that. You know, that he had it was the Batman, the blue and gray Batman with the yellow shield on his chest, and he had the long ears on the cowl.
Yep. The Jim Aparo ears.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought that like I thought it was interesting to introduce a lot of those deep cut characters. I mean, I don't like the casting for Guy Gardner.
Right. I haven't seen that.
Cause I think it's shoot, I forgot his name. He's a really popular voice actor. Give me a second. Let me pull it up.
I was going to say, don't tell me it's The Rock. I'm a bit over The Rock and everything.
No. Actor.
I'm surprised they went with Guy Gardner instead of a Jon Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, it's Nathan Fillion.
Oh, yeah. From yes. That's interesting. Interesting choice. Because he's not who you'd say as an A-grade actor, is he? Like,
I think so. Like,
I mean, in terms of like his portfolio of movies and stuff, like he's not someone that's really been a big movie actor, has he? Lots of TV.
In movies, no.
Yeah, lots of television.
In tons of TV.
Yeah,
tons of TV, and he's voiced a lot of animated features.
Yes, I think he actually did. Did he do Superman? The voiceover for Superman at one point? I'm not sure.
I believe no. Was that him?
There's been a few that have done Superman now.
There have been a few. A few. But I just think he would be better suited for like a shoot, I'm spacing out right now. I can't get past the fighting jokes.
You mean he'd be better off almost like in the Justice League Unlimited cartoon when it was like side characters, as well as the main Trinity. So someone like perhaps like a like the guy that used to wear the mech suit, that had Liberty as his daughter or something. I can't remember that, but there's lots of characters like the cowboy.
Stars and Stripes. Stars and Stripes.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah. And you know who else I can see him as? The Question.
Yeah. Oh man. Now that's one of my favorites. Yeah, me too. Me too.
I can totally see him as the Question.
Yes.
But what I am hopeful for as well is them introducing more GL characters when they go into like the TV. Well, I can't remember if it was going to be a TV show or if they're going to really like do a full feature length film.
Oh right,
buddy cop kind of situation with the GLs.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Jeff Johns involved? He would have to be, wouldn't he?
He would need to be.
He's isn't he like chief creative officer or something now? Like, isn't he something quite high in that?
Yeah, I think he's like a Feige equivalent.
Yeah,
he's up
like
there.
Like a Jon Favreau kind of thing, and over at Lucasfilm, like quite high in the creative areas, which is good.
Because the Green Lanterns in particular have always had some really good characters that I feel like don't get a whole lot of shine.
Oh yeah, like give me a good Sinestro for sure.
True.
True. Great villain. You've got all the whole Black Lantern story that you could use. Like, I mean, that's all good stuff.
That's fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a really good Kyle Rayner.
Yeah, for sure.
That like Kyle was my favorite Green Lantern. As an artist, and the use of the imagination to create the constructs. Like, how do you beat that?
Right. Like I guess I was more of the original Green Lantern sort of, with my brain's blanking too now. The original Green Lantern, but I think having him become Parallax, that would be interesting.
Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan, when he became Parallax and we saw the end of Crisis and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that would be cool too. Like, there's lots of options.
True.
Yeah, very cool. Here's the big thing though. Who are they going to recast for the Trinity? Are they going to recast Wonder Woman and Flash, and are they going to bother yet, or is that coming down the track? I believe so,
but I think they're going to like drip that out as they progress.
Yeah,
because I did read that Gal Gadot isn't coming back as Wonder Woman.
Well, I don't think you can. Like, how can you do that? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I loved her as Wonder Woman. I thought she was probably one of the best things that came out of that whole era of the Justice League.
I agree.
But I just don't know how they could use it and not confuse people
with the Snyderverse and such. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I thought she was fantastic as Wonder Woman. I didn't care for Flash at all. I didn't care for the actor that played Flash.
No, I think anyone who was youthful and can get away with being like a Tom Holland-ish actor could have been Flash.
It just felt to me like that's not what the Flash was. Whereas Tom Holland as Spider-Man, I think fits really well.
Yes,
but the Flash for me felt like someone that had a bit more to him. I think they followed the storyline in some ways, like with the dad and Reverse Flash and all that kind of stuff was cool, but never really unraveled properly as a story.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of rushed past,
Yeah. Oh,
The black race, the black racer, yeah, all of that.
they have been, kind of kicking around in the gossip mill, bringing in Grant Gustin as the Flash
Oh yeah, okay. From
from the TV show.
TV show. Yeah, he wasn't bad.
I really liked him as Flash.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
But
if
then
you
does that then confuse? Does that confuse everything? Like, because I like the Supergirl from that era, that
True.
for the CW world. I thought she was good Supergirl. But when do you stop it? Then do you get the Green Arrow guy, like Oliver Queen? Like it's, I don't know. When you just say we're just going to recast everything.
Well, yeah. I mean, now omitting a lot of the CW melodrama, right? Because they tend to be a little melodramatic with their storylines and the way the parts are acted out.
Yeah,
I think Grant Gustin would be a great Flash.
Yes. Yeah.
And I did like what's this actor's name? I'm forgetting his name. He was in Spartacus. He played Deathstroke.
Okay. Yes.
In the Arrow series.
Yeah. The Australian actor.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was in the Justice League movie too, wasn't he? So at the end, wasn't he? Wasn't he the cutaway scene? Not
that was a different
cutaway scene at the end.
No, it was a different guy.
Different guy.
Different guy. That one, I think that's an Italian guy.
Okay, it's the other guy.
He's gone.
He's the other guy. Go get that guy.
Now, have you ever watched Titans, the show on HBO?
I did, yeah.
Now, the guy that played Deathstroke in that series,
yeah,
I didn't know like immediately until like I just did like my deep dive. That's Richie's brother from La Bamba.
Really? You know how many years it's been since I've seen La Bamba? Like all the years.
That was Richie's brother, the one that could draw. That he was drawing all the cartoon characters.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He was the brother that was an artist, and he felt a little
that's funny.
Valued because Richie kind of felt like the favorite and so forth. Like he beat up his girlfriend and all this other stuff. And it's like every time I look at him now, I see Richie, right? Like screaming, right?
That's hilarious. Look, if I had gone to my grave as an old man, never heard or even spoken the word La Bamba, I wouldn't have been surprised. This is just totally thrown me.
So Manu Bennett.
You're talking about Lou Diamond Phillips, La Bamba.
Lou Diamond Phillips, La Bamba, yes.
Yes. Where's Lou Diamond Phillips? Where is he?
Where indeed?
What is he doing? Where is he gone?
Where indeed? That guy has been super low key.
Yes. Oh, there we go. Yvette's onto it. Brett Tucker. Is that the Spartacus?
Brett Tucker. That is no. No. It was Manu Bennett. Manu Bennett was the Australian actor that was on Spartacus. That was Deathstroke on Arrow. Because on Spartacus he played Crixus.
Yes.
He played Crixus. He's I'm interested to see what they do with the new Spartacus show.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I wonder if they're going to bring back all the slow-mo.
All the 300 slow-mo.
Because I tried to rewatch it, the old series, and
it's a tough one.
And it's like when things start to get violent, the motion starts to slow down.
Yes, it.
It's the almost muted screams. You know what I mean? It's
know.
kind of overdone.
Yeah.
But I
Oh
get it.
God, yes. Yeah.
You
But then
know?
it's like when you go back and watch the Snyder one, the 300, or you watch Snyder's Justice League cut. Like I don't mind watching the Snyder's cut, but there's so much slow mo in it. Like I think that's why it's so long. It's because the whole thing's in slow mo. Just gonna eat my sandwich in slow mo. Like everything has got a slow mo cut to it, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Justice League.
no, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think I saw it 4 times when it came. So like that was my weekend. I was just watching it on loop. You know?
I thought it was good.
The zombie movie that Snyder did was actually really good too.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. Although in terms of the writing, there was a few writing choices I thought this has been interesting. Like they're having deep dive father-daughter discussions in the middle of a zombie apocalypse heist.
Right.
Time is of the element. Time is of crucial, element, and they're having a discussion about romance with his girlfriend, and then the father-daughter thing. And I thought, dude, like time and place. Like,
yes.
if you want me to buy into this, like let's let's have that discussion later. Like, it's good you're reigniting with your daughter and you're having a special moment, but there's an army of undead outside the door, and you're about to all die. So let's focus on the job. That would be good,
So Chris Borman,
Batista. How do you rate Batista as an actor?
Mob Enforcer in Blue Bloods.
Oh, there you go. I'll bring it up. There you go. LDP.
I don't think I saw Blue Blood.
No, I didn't. Is that the Tom Selleck one? I think it is.
It is the Tom Selleck one.
Yes. Oh, we've just had a Masters of the Universe link in. Our own Tom Selleck Man at Arms.
That's right.
With his doormat chest. Has come home again. Come home again. The doormat.
The taco meat.
What?
He's got the 70s taco meat going on.
Oh man. Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you rate Batista as an actor though? Like, because Batista's in a fair amount of pop culture stuff. How do you rate him as an actor? Being a WWE fan that you are.
Who are we talking about?
Batista.
So I think that he's got more range than The Rock.
Yes. Rock's got the eyebrow. That's it.
Right. I think that he's got more range than The Rock does, and I think he's more open to being a goofball than The Rock is. Right? Because Rock, the Dwayne Johnson's got that whole clause about he doesn't want to take too many hits, or he doesn't want to lose fights in movies. And
really?
Yeah, dude. That's why they didn't put Black Adam in the Shazam movie. He was supposed to be the big bad in that.
Oh, right. I see.
He was supposed to be the big bad in the second Shazam movie, and because Dwayne Johnson was against him losing.
Yes.
They just gave him his own movie. And even in his own movie, he didn't want to take too many hits to the face or look weak, or you know what I mean? Like that's like to know that you put that in the clause signing on to do a film is crazy to me.
Right. Yeah.
It should be.
Now I can see why the actor of Shazam got so upset, because he got really upset that Rock wasn't in it, wasn't he? He's quite vocal about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because he like they wanted him in the Shazam movie, And then, the Black Adam movie was supposed to set up like a confrontation between him and Superman.
Right. Yep.
But then, like how would that have played out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that like Black Adam is essentially an anti-hero, and Superman is susceptible to magic.
Right.
So it'd have been like a movie of him just slapping Superman around. Nah, dude.
No way, man. If you can't accept being beaten by Superman, like, come on.
Yeah.
Ego aside, if you're gonna lose to Superman. Like,
of course.
Come on. That's a sad level of ego there. But I always thought I would have liked to have seen Black Adam be cast to look a bit more Egyptian, by an Egyptian actor or something. I thought that would have been more suitable.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, like whenever I've drawn Black Adam, I've always made him to look very, just very dark around the eye set in terms of the tone and the color.
Yes.
Just to give him that real sort of that ethnicity that leans towards that area of the world, Yeah,
that Mediterranean. Like dusky kind of olive tone.
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't think The Rock, I didn't mind The Rock in Black Adam, and in fact, I would have watched the hell out of that movie if it was all set in ancient Egypt almost. Like, I would have been rapt about that.
Yeah.
But I just felt like there was a lot tried to be squeezed into that film, and it just didn't quite. I don't know. It just ended up being about blowing buildings up and fighting through them. Like, I just thought there's more to this. I thought Pierce Brosnan was great as Dr. Fate.
Oh yeah, he was my favorite. He was like my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah, I didn't like the recasting of some of the Justice Society that were there. Like, I thought that was a bit crazy, but I don't know. I wanted to hear more about Hawkman. I mean, Hawkman and Hawkgirl have got as much about Egypt in their history as Black Adam does.
True.
Give me that. Give me more of that.
I did like the Hawkman character.
Yeah.
I did like Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. Like, I think he did the hell out of that part.
Yeah,
and he was really convincing to me.
Yes, I agree. Yeah,
because it was like he wasn't like campy about playing Doc Fate,
Right. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I would have seen a whole, because Hawkman and Hawker were always one of my favorites in the DC world, especially when they were portrayed in the comics. Yeah, give me more of that. Like, I would have watched the whole movie on those two.
So, do you think that we would be due for something centered around more of the mysticism in the DC universe?
Yeah, like, you could easily pull off a DC Dark Universe stuff where you've got Constantine. You've got Dr. Fate. You've got Etrigan, the demon.
Etrigan, yeah, the demon. He's one of my favorite characters.
Yes. Is it Jason Blood?
Yes.
Yes.
I
always love that.
Etrigan.
Right. Yeah. Like, and you've got, of course, Zatanna.
Yeah.
You got all those characters that deal with the mysticism that would be perfect for that, And
you could actually pull in Swamp Thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Which is one of the aspects that I really liked about the Titans show, when they really got to Beast Boy's powers,
right,
and how he's connected to the Red.
Right. I actually thought Beast Boy was good in that series.
Oh, he was fantastic.
The casting was good,
Absolutely.
I thought it was good.
So
that's yeah.
they have been kicking around the idea of the actor that played Hawk
Right.
in that show.
He was good.
He was
The Hawk and
fantastic.
Dove characters were great.
I loved the Hawk and Dove characters. Like
Yeah.
the outfits were great. I think in that series, one of my absolute favorite episodes was the Superboy episode.
Right. Yeah.
Where he goes back to Smallville, right, trying to retrace like where all his memories are coming from.
Yeah.
And you assume that it's the Kent farm, but he actually ends up on the Luther farm.
Right. The neighbors.
Right. And then like Cadmus like raids the farm, and it's like he can't like stand the old man getting hurt.
Right.
So he like tears into all of the Cadmus soldiers. I absolutely loved the hell out of that episode.
The twist. The Metal Men was a great section of that show.
Ooh, yes.
I thought that was really clever. With Beast Boys sort of connection to that, but I thought that was really well done.
With the Doom Patrol, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And the Nightmare episode. I think that was the penultimate episode in season 1.
Yes.
Where Batman killed a bunch of people.
Yes. Yeah.
That was a great.
Without revealing Batman's face ever. I thought that was clever too. They held on to that for a while.
They did.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with who they cast as Batman.
Yeah.
Felt like he was too old.
Oh, dude! Imagine if they got themselves one of the actors that were playing Batman at the time. Really just lean into it. But I mean, when are we going to see a Batman Beyond?
True.
With a Michael Keaton playing a role, or as an old Batman.
Man, and this kid, the guy that played Nightwing in that series, would play a great Terry McGinnis.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's got the build for it. He's got, the stunt chops.
Yep. Stunt chops.
He does. The guy can,
A great term. I got the stunt chops.
So they did release an extended trailer to the new Beetlejuice film.
Oh, okay. I've been sort of steering a little bit away from that because I can't wait to see what that looks like when it comes out. I haven't really watched too much of it. Is it good?
Now, I will say, first and foremost, that Beetlejuice is one of my favorite Burton movies.
Yeah.
Okay. And I haven't been excited for a movie in a really, really long time. Not since Man of Steel. Okay.
Yeah.
When we announced Man of Steel was dropping, I was like, we are watching that opening weekend. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Beetlejuice looks fantastic.
Yeah. And they've honored a lot of the original cast too, haven't they? Like
they brought back
yeah.
They brought back everybody except for the guy that played the dad.
Yeah. For obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons, right?
Yeah.
But they brought back everybody, dude. Everybody's back. And in the new trailer, they do show more of Keaton in the makeup.
Oh yeah, yep.
And dude, he hasn't lost a step.
That's great.
He hasn't lost a step at all. He's still doing it. They bring back a lot of the old jokes.
Yep.
Of him as Beetlejuice. They do a lot of callbacks. I mean, in the trailer there was a lot of nostalgia, but there was a lot of new stuff as well.
Right.
So I'm really excited for this movie.
Because he was good in the Flash movie. as Batman. I thought he didn't. It didn't feel that odd, you know.
Right.
It didn't feel like Carrie Fisher coming back. Like it wasn't jarring at all. You know, the age hadn't been a problem.
Right. So, and you know, I did like that they did use a lot of the original set from the '89 Batman movie.
Yeah.
Right. So they're using a lot of the original stuff that we saw in the OG Beetlejuice.
Right. Yeah.
So
do they have the house with the weird architecture on it?
the house with the weird architecture. The mom came back.
Yeah. Is it Catherine O'Hara? Is that her name? The actress?
I believe so.
Yes.
So. Let me pull that up.
She's out of Home Alone, and I watched her the other day in the Wide Earp movie. She was in that with Kevin Costner.
Yeah. What is her name? Her name. She played Emily Dietz. So yeah, they're bringing back everybody. Emily Dietz.
Oh, Yvette's swearing at you, Kenny. Schitt's Creek as well.
That's right. She was in Schitt's Creek too. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, she's been in a bunch of stuff, man. And yeah, I'm just really excited for it, man. Like,
yeah, that sounds good.
I think the only thing that feels awkward about what I've seen is like Lydia looks older.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
as in Winona, you're talking about?
Yeah, like Winona Ryder, like
looks
she visibly looks older.
Yes.
You know, and I think in like some scenes in the trailer, she looks older than the mom. you know what I mean? But like I feel like
out-aged Catherine.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like it's almost like she shouldn't have the same hair from the original Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Like she should have aged out from that.
They should have style guided her differently. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I get why they kept it.
Yeah.
You know, but it looks good.
Did you see the new Ghostbusters?
I haven't. Is it any good?
I haven't yet either. I saw Bill Murray on the trailer the other day, and I thought, oh, okay.
And it did pique my interest because I saw that, you know, they brought back a lot of the OG characters.
I think they got it. I think the franchise is kind of struggling a bit. You know, with getting all the kids in it. It turned it into the Goonies, and I don't think it was quite working as well as they wanted.
Right.
But, yeah. But it is good to see Bill Murray and the gang. It's just a shame they waited so long that they couldn't get Egon before he passed away. But
that's true. That's true.
We'll see.
I think I'll try and catch it.
What's that? Sorry. What did you say?
I said I'm gonna see if I can try and catch it this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. It's is it Frozen Empire? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said I'm not. I'm pretty close to finishing Stratos. I'm not far away.
Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm almost done too. I just gotta sharpen up some details, tighten up his face a bit, drop some shadows in certain areas. It's really
I am
just
considering doing the clips on his straps on the front of his
yeah,
vest, jetpack vest. I'm
yeah.
thinking of doing the straps like on the toy. Having those
Mm,
action figure clips. You know, the
yeah,
ones that would always break, and you'd
yep.
always like, oh, because you have to tighten them with your teeth, and
Uh-huh.
then you'd break them. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing those. What do you reckon? Just to honor the toy
Go for it. Go for it.
engineering.
Because like every piece that you've done so far in this series has, been
A bit of toy in there,
yeah, it's been like a live rendition of the toy.
like park brake handle.
Yeah. Chris Barman says, I had higher expectations from the trailers for Frozen,
Yeah.
Empire, and the actual movie. I truly
No.
love Afterlife.
Which one was that? Was that the
Afterlife was the
one?
first uh
Right.
Ghostbusters of like this new
Era.
run with the kids.
Right.
Come to think of it, I didn't see that either. I'm
I
just
didn't
out of
mind
the
it,
loop.
but I just thought, this gets a bit much sometimes. So I just think, can't we just, if you're going to recast it, let's go with that recasting of what made the original so good. Was
True.
that you had,
True.
good actors, good funny people, and adults.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
because they weren't young people in that first movie; they were just unsuccessful
No,
academics.
they were already like middle aged.
Yeah, yeah,
They were already middle aged. I think the youngest person in that original movie was like Janine,
right, exactly.
and even that was a bit of a stretch. You know what I mean? Like, no knock on the actress. She looked great, but like when you compare her to Bill and Dan and even Ernie, that
The
Ernie
Sigourney.
Hudson right now, he's in his 50s and he looks great.
Yeah, yeah, he's aged really well. Is he in the new one?
I think so. I did see the clip of him brandishing the old outfit.
Nice. All right. So if I'm going to do this alteration to the outfit, I'm going to have to put in that weird button thing right there, little clippy clip button.
Yeah.
I need your fashion designer friend. That's what I need to help me out with this one. And then we've got the weird, those little slots where they're little, like a belt buckle, but it's for yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Belt buckle where you'd have the, that little bit that would hang out at the bottom with the lumps on it. See how descriptive and accurate I am? The little thing with the thing and the little thing.
The thing with the whatchamacallit.
The whatchamacallit went into that thing, and it's so accurate. And all right, so I think that's all right. Okay. Good thing about gouache is you can always draw over the top of it. It responds well to it, which is good.
Yeah, that's what I'm realizing at the moment, because I did a bit of gouache in the face here, and I realized that it came out a little too dark.
Right.
So I'm giving it a fresh coat.
Right.
So
that's good that way. You can use color pencil with it too. It responds really nicely to that.
Yeah.
If you need to just touch up and tighten a few areas.
It's got a bit of bite to it.
Yeah. Got a bit of bite, and it's not too much sheen or lump in it that you can't do something of it. All right, I think that'll work.
Doobie what's it?
The Dewey what's it?
Doobie what's it? We're just, this is it's a part of the lingo here.
Yeah, terminology. It's a compendium that comes out with the book we're making.
There you go.
To survive understanding the artwork, you need to know what park brake handle is, doormat chest, corncob sword, flamulets.
Flamulets.
Meh. You need to know meh. Now, Davey, what's it?
And you don't even know.
You don't even know. And then
You don't even know.
And Magnum PI moustache. I mean, there's a whole bunch of it. And what do we and pelt underwear? Pelt underwear.
Yes, pelt underwear.
Yes. Did Tila have pelt underwear?
No. Nah, dude. She from what I remember, she wore like it was a white like bodysuit.
Yeah.
A white leotard with like some like brass kind of armor.
But she had pelt fur boots, didn't she? Didn't she have the fur was around the top of the boots?
I think she did have pelt boots.
Yeah.
Like
so she was happy to dip into the wildlife of Eternia just for the boots.
Yeah, I think she did have pelt boots. Now that I think about it,
right.
That's good.
Happy to dip into the endangered wildlife of Eternia just for the boots, though. Just for the boots. Right. Keeping it real. All right, so I'm going to put in this strap now. I've completely forgotten about this element of his armor here, his jetpack.
Yeah.
The strappy straps. All right. We must be getting close to time, are we, Kenny?
We're a little over, actually. We're about 3 minutes over.
3 days overdue. We just keep going. We start on those 2 weeks.
But yeah, this is I think one more session and this will be done. And I think middle of the next stream
start concept
we can
designing.
get into the Wheel of Doom and
yes.
Laying in the thumbnails for Tila.
Yes. All right, that sounds good. All right, so we might call it for today then. So are you happy with that?
Yeah.
So big thank you to everyone that joined us for our insanity today and our maddening quest to try and find a nice balance between realizing these toy designs as actual characters on the page. Indeed. So we wish everyone to have a lovely week, a great creative weekend, and definitely jump onto the Etsy stores, both at Wild Inks Ken and Art of Will Played on the socials. You'll find all the links. Please like and subscribe to YouTube. That's always a massive help to us. Absolutely. And helps to get the word out there. And we'll see you next time for the Wheel of Doom. Do our final pass on Stratos. Have a good week.
Great weekend, guys.